dream again. Please don't give up on your future. Welcome to Life Interrupts Us, the podcast. I'm your storyteller, Stephen Wayne, and this season we are focusing on the journey of the creatives. This beautiful young lady sitting next to me is none other than Valerie Singleton-Evans, and she is a friend of mine. We've known each other for decades now. We've done some music together, recording. She has a phenomenal voice and is a beautiful spirit, but more importantly, she has a very interesting story. So, as we're putting together this season and looking at all the people that we're talking to, Valerie, thank you so much for being here. It's my pleasure to have you here. We called and started talking about this weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and so I'm glad that we could make it happen. And I know that this is a little trek for you, so I appreciate you for being here.
No, I'm honored and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, yes, yes. So this podcast is a storytelling podcast,
Okay.
and we like to tell stories that are anecdotal or contextual to what we're talking about. And so I'm going to tell you a story that I've I may have told you this before, but you'll appreciate it either way. So you and I first met back in the '90s
Yeah.
when I started attending Loveland, which is your brother's church, Pastor Chuck's church. And I heard you sing. I was like, oh man, she can really sing. I was like, wow. And my first real introduction to music at Loveland was singing at Sarge's wedding.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Sergeant Rhoda.
Sergeant Rhoda, yes.
Because I knew SARS. That's how I ended up at Loveland, was through SARS.
Oh, okay.
And they asked me to do, like, I did a whole concert. Like, I did 5 songs. Who does
Wow.
that? And I did 5. It wasn't even just the ones that I did. There were other people that did songs. Like, this is like you should have charged ticket price for this concert. Um, but one of the songs that I did was with his sister Juanita,
Okay.
and we did the "Woman, Don't You Know With You I'm Born Again."
Yeah.
The duet. Who's that? Is it not Billy Preston? That's who is that? I can't remember who it is, but that everybody knows the
Oh.
song. And at the end of the song, when you do that long dramatic hold on that last note, we had rehearsed it a couple of times, and I felt good singing it with her, and she has a really nice voice and
Yeah,
whatever,
for sure.
and it was cool. But at the wedding, in that last moment of the song, she turns and faces me, um, and I follow suit because we hadn't practiced this. So I was like, okay, well, you know, because I'm singing with her, so I'm kind
Right.
of singing to her, and she's singing to me, so it's not a stretch for me to turn. And then she, again, and I'm holding up again, and she's holding note, and she reaches her hands out, and she touches my face, and in my mind, I'm going, what is she doing? What is she doing? What is she doing? But I'm holding this note. And she pulls me closer and kisses me in the mouth.
Oh.
I was like, what? Now, 2 things are interesting about that. Number one, I had a date with me at the wedding. Number two, there was somebody else at the wedding that I was actually interested in. And so I'm looking, I'm like, what's going on? And she really, I mean, she didn't put her tongue down my throat, but she really kissed me. And I was like, and who else was there singing? I think Allegra sang a song. Allegra was there. She was like, oh. And so everybody was in shock because we had all practiced all these songs. Did you sing
Right.
in that wedding?
No.
Okay, we practiced all these songs, but no, that hadn't happened. Nothing close to it had happened. So I was when she after she was done and she pulled away, the song was clearly over. C Dub was playing, it was clearly over,
C-Dub.
and he was looking like what? And I was shocked, and I stood there, and she smiled and she backed away, and And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, this is. By that time, I had been dubbed the wedding singer, so I had sang at
Okay.
100 weddings.
Mm-hmm.
That had never. I'd done duets and all that. That had never ever happened.
Wow.
And so fast forward a few decades, and I hadn't seen you, and I hadn't seen you probably since we did Allegra's album, and you came over and recorded the song with her, which was
Yeah.
so bad, by the way. Your brother heard that song, he was like, because he was on the album, he came over and okay,
Oh yeah, you did
all
that spoken
right, yeah,
part.
another
Yeah.
funny little story. Okay, so he shows up at the house. We're in the middle of Bible study, and Chuck's always late. So he was supposed to be there way earlier, but he kept texting me. Oh, I'm running behind. I'm running behind. No worries, no worries. I said, but I got Bible study at a certain time. So he gets there, and Bible study is getting ready to wrap up, but everybody's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks in the house, and he had just come from the salon, and he had the Sanic strips and the do rag on.
I've
And
never
so,
seen that.
woo! So when he walked through the door, he he came in because we lived in a townhouse in Rancho. He came in through the garage and into the kitchen, and from there you walk right into the living room, and it's all these people sitting in the living room. And Chuck is Chuck, so everybody know who he is. And he walks in and he goes, hello everyone, hello, greetings. And I said, hey, Chuck, this is a Bible study. We just wrapping up. He said, oh, okay. And so I said, go, let me take you upstairs to the little studio loft we had. And when we got up there, he said, man, why don't you tell me you had people here? I wouldn't have walked in like this. So I said, dude, look at your text messages. We've been texting back and forth all day. You was late. You supposed to be here hours ago. So we're sitting down, and he's like, he said, oh, well, what are we going to do? And I let him hear it. And I said, but you know what? Let me let you hear some of the other stuff. As a matter of fact, let me let you hear the song that Allegra and your sister did. And I put it on. He was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, he started rattling off all these big adjectives. Oh, it's so melodic. It's so glorious. It's majestic. And all of them weren't like biblical adjectives. He was like, oh, the flow is just it's so fluid, and it's just, and I'm sitting there looking like, well, how many more words you gonna usher out? But he really enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with you because I had always wanted to work with you, and to have you in my studio and little humble beginnings of a little loft area for what I thought was a really beautiful song, and you killed it. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, so then fast forward, I hadn't seen you in a while.
I know.
And Rhoda calls, hey, Sergeant's sister died.
Yeah.
Can you sing at the funeral? I don't like singing at funerals. I just don't, because you either have to be one or two people. You have to be that person that's going to rile people up emotionally, and I'm not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to be someone that's just going to minister stoically, and I'm really not that guy either.
Yeah.
And especially now, I'm more entertainer than anything else. And I was like, okay, it's Sarge and it's Rhoda, so I'll do it. But the delight for me was that you were there.
I know, and I looked at you, and I was like, I know him.
Yeah, and it had been that long, right?
There you go.
It's like, and I don't forget anybody, so I was like, "Oh, Val's here." So we spent the whole funeral in the back, behind the scenes, talking and catching up. So welcome to Life in a Rough Sauce. I am glad you are here. I'm glad you're here. At Mike Henry's Barbecue Company, we are passionate about delivering not just the best food, but the best experience. Nestled in the heart of Rancho Cucamonga, our mission is to treat every guest like family, offering mouth-watering barbecue that's slow cooked to perfection and served with a smile. From our tender brisket to our savory ribs, each dish is crafted with love and attention to detail. Our dedicated team goes the extra mile to ensure every visit is memorable, blending friendly, attentive service with a warm, inviting atmosphere. At Mike Henry's Barbecue Company, we don't just serve food, we serve happiness. So let's get into this. I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about your music journey. I know it's intertwined with some other things, but I want to talk about dreams deferred. because for me, you are one of the most gracious yet phenomenal singers I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
And when I meet people who can sing like that, I always wonder what was their dream or their plan? What was your dream or your plan for your music? Where did you where were you on your way to? And did you get there? So tell me.
Okay. Um, Following Chuck out here. Well, to start, my dad was a pastor, had a phenomenal choir, and Nesby, um, other people, Katrina, Harper, background for Steve,
Yeah.
you know Katrina,
Yeah.
and just singers like
Yeah.
mad singers, and so singing has always been um, a part of our lives, and the excellence of it, you
Mhm.
know, was just natural because we all learned how to sing together.
Yeah.
So Ann Nesby is not a true standout at my dad's church.
Wow.
Yeah,
That says a lot.
no, they
That
yeah.
says a lot.
My sister Barbara, she's a singer, but
Okay.
she and Ann did a lot of duets together.
Okay.
Um, so I started in the Sunbeam Choir. You're just gonna sing. That's just that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Okay.
and so just growing up, I just ended up leaving Illinois, Joliet, Illinois,
Mhm.
when I was 18. And when I came to California, I discovered worship, and it's like,
Hmm. Very different.
and it was very lacking in the black church.
Yeah.
I am saved.
Yeah.
We was just saved.
Yeah. Yeah.
We weren't
Shouting
really,
and
yeah,
carrying
we
on.
weren't
Yeah.
really, extolling the virtues
Right.
of
We weren't
God,
magnifying the Lord.
right. We were not worshiping.
We were just praise dancing.
Yeah, well, we were just
Bucking,
glad
shouting.
there's something better than what we have.
Yes. Yes.
We looking for that pie in the sky by and by. So that became my heart. I just fell in love with the emotion of it,
Mhm.
And so my initial passion was to, and wasn't even really looking for a big platform. Just wanted to go to small churches and expose them to this. My God, you have to hear this. This is amazing. And it's transformative, and you will actually feel the presence of God. It's like nothing you ever, it's different than shouting
Very.
and your own
It's night and
emotional
day.
expression.
It's night and day.
This is something that is.
This is when you meet God. It's
Yeah.
God's presence.
And it was just so amazing. And I mean, at the time, it's like you raise your hand at church, like, put your hand down. I can't see.
Right. Excuse me, child,
Yeah,
sit
right.
down.
I can't see. So,
Man, that takes me back
come
to
on now.
Illinois. Because
Yes.
I come from
Oh,
Illinois.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I grew up as a child in Chicago. I was
Okay.
born here, but when I was 1, we moved to Chicago. So I stayed in Chicago until I was 10. But my grandfather was a pastor. So
Oh,
all I knew was church and Chicago.
I did not know
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And but that was just what I wanted to do. And I ended up working at Campus Crusade for Christ.
Okay.
So that was piped through there all day, and I'm just like blown away.
Yeah.
And really just wanting to share that with churches.
How did that go?
It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't go.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it was way ahead of our time. Even now, though, I think we have a form of it.
It's performative.
Yeah, we have a form of
I hate
worship. Yeah.
I hate
I'm like, on earth as it is in heaven. I want to know, what is heaven singing?
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't think it's echoing yourself and showing you whatever you can do.
Let me see if I can throw one more run in here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So that was my true heart's desire, was to spread, and that was in the mid 80s, late 80s.
Yeah.
That I really wanted to. I'm like, I could do this, because my dad, being as connected as he was, civil rights leader, formative partner of Operation Push,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King, Friends, and all that. So I knew that he could get me into some churches. So I could, just not trying to make a name for myself, just trying to let people know what's up. This is
You were
it.
an authentic worship leader
Yeah, yeah, I really
without a congregation.
right. Which my husband says when you're marching down the street by yourself and you look around and there's nobody, you're not leading the band. How you?
You're not
He
leading
said
the
I thought I
band.
was leading a parade, but I was just a fool in the street.
You're a
That's
solo artist. I prefer to call you a solo artist.
So yeah,
A drum major without a band is a fool.
Like, what is he doing?
He's marching.
You couldn't
doing
tell
all his-
him he had 60 people behind him. You couldn't tell him that.
Yeah, so
Man.
that's what happened to my true passion.
Wow.
And just now really seeing seeing us come to it. But still in our own gospel way. It's not a
it's still emotionalized.
yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that, but doesn't it makes sense for who I've experienced you to be musically? Because I traveled a similar path. I found myself in the 80s going to the midnight musicals and all that stuff in L because I was in LA, and not fitting in. I didn't do all the vocal acrobatics and all the stuff. I just
even
sang.
though you can.
I
That's
could,
stuff you
but
play with at home.
Right. And it's like I didn't feel the need to do that because I just wanted to sing to the Lord and exalt his people or exhort his people through worship. But I would take an ASL sign language person with me.
Oh wow.
And when nobody had that or needed that or wanted that, I would take her because it was just so beautiful, the songs that I would sing.
Mm-hmm.
And then people would sit.
Yep.
And I'd be like, what? And after about, 6 or 7 midnight musicals and stuff, I was like, okay, I quit. I can't do this here. Mm-hmm. And my mom at the time had gotten married and they moved out here. That's how I ended up coming in the Inland Empire. Okay. And they started a church. And I was at Loveland. When I moved out here, they weren't pastoring yet. I met Sarge and came to Loveland. Okay. So I fell in love with Loveland. I was like, oh man. And the music was banging and the word was crazy. And I was like, and we wasn't in church all day. I was like, what they doing? And you could dress like this. You could wear a hat. You could do. I was like, where they do this at? I had not seen that anywhere. Yeah. LA or anywhere. I was like, wow, this is crazy. They almost too free. Like, what's going on? You see C-Dub break up off the organ and just take off running all the way around the gym. I was like, what is going on here? So I felt comfortable. Yeah. But when my mom and her husband at the time started this ministry, she was like, I need you. Yeah, for sure. So I went there, but we didn't have choir because we didn't have no singers. And so we would do the Maranatha praise stuff. Mm-hmm. When I go on my walks, that's what that's what I put in my ear. I don't put Hezekiah and all that other stuff in my ear. I put Maranatha praise and I just integrity. They got that whole Hosanna integrity. Yes. Oh my God! So the Don Moen, all of that. We would do all of that, and it'd be me and my mom, me leading worship, my mom playing and singing, and the people would be standing there. And we'd be saying, come on and lift your hands. And I would use it as teaching. So I would be trying to teach the people. We lift our hands as we surrender to the Lord. We're saying he's holy, all this stuff. And they'd be looking at me, looking like somebody trying to get permission to go to the bathroom. It's like, go on and go. Just go on and go. And what I started doing, and this was a little selfish, but I did it anyway. I became a person who would lead them as far to the presence of God that I could. Mm-hmm. And then I would leave them. And I'd be weeping and just in it. Yeah. And when I would come out of it, I'd open my eyes and they I said, what is going
Oh
on
my
here?
God! How
Did
can
you
you
not
not be
just
moved
feel
by
God's
that?
presence?
Yes,
But
yes.
especially in the Black church, we have been programmed that our emotions are what are supposed to be the trigger and the weapon.
Wow.
So we use that. So if you hit the right chords and you give us the right beat, we'll respond to all of that. But that's not necessarily spiritual.
Right.
That's not a necessarily spiritual encounter. That's just an encounter. But if you can get that and get God's presence too. Yes, those things happen. But more times than not, what we're getting is emotional acrobatics that have been triggered by the right the right move on transition, or the right person being up there.
Yeah.
That we kind of idolize as our music leader in the church. And so we had folks who had come from really, really staunch Baptist backgrounds. So they didn't know that. They didn't know the shout, and they didn't know the worship. They didn't know either one.
Wow.
So they were just, I'll do the job, whatever job you ask me. Ask me to be a deacon, I'm gonna be that. You ask me to be the usher, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna count the money, I'm gonna do all that. And if you say come on and stand to your feet, I'm gonna stand, but
Yeah. Yeah.
You might do 4 or 5 songs and I'm gonna stand there like this. Yes. And when you're done, I'm gonna sit on down. So right. I get it. I get your path. I didn't know it. I didn't know that. I just assumed that you'd always wanted to be just a gospel singer or even an inspirational singer. And your path may have been blocked by one reason, but that's the hardest path. You trying to lead folk to the throne room.
Oh my God.
And they don't want to go. They don't want to go there. Like, no, I'll just sing my favorite song and then we'll do it.
Right. And I've taught my kids that people will pay you to display emotion for them.
Yes.
And because they don't trust their emotions.
Yeah.
They don't know how far. I don't want to shout in front of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose it.
I haven't practiced it enough.
You go and I'll applaud you.
Yes.
I'll pay you to do it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's with gospel. That's even with secular music. I'll pay you to go off.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do it.
I just want to watch the show.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of the show. I want to watch the show.
Right.
And that's sad because when you experience authentic worship where you're really in God's presence and it's all about Him, because worship is all about Him. Worship is not even about your stuff. We have over spiritualized our needs and our desires and our pains, and worship is something past that. Now God may deal with it. He might be moved to deal with your situation. Sure, there's been times when healings have taken place during worship. That was just the presence of God saying, hey, you've loved on me so much, I'm going to love back on you. But ultimately, worship is not about any of that.
Right.
Because more times than not, if you went into worship broke, you came out broke. You didn't go, and after it was all done, oh, who put this in my pocket? No, you was broke.
Right.
So I get it. I get it. So then what happens then for you? Since those roadways seem to not flow the way that they should have, because they really should have.
Well, I would say I mismarried. I married a man who, my former husband, not my current husband.
Yeah, we're not talking about you, Dale, right now. We're going to talk about you, but we're not talking about you right now.
My children's father. Who was very controlling, kind of insecure, didn't trust anyone, me, himself, or anyone else in this world. So, it's like, I just remember so clearly, I'm like reading this Miles Monroe book and I'm like so fired up. And then it's like, almost like somebody standing at the door like, where do you think you're going? And so just totally, I thought I had to defer to my marriage over myself, over my ministry, over anything. That was just, if you marry someone, then
sure,
but I I agree and I disagree with that.
Yeah. Well, there's context
Especially
to
if
it.
it's an abusive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only did you stop me, you
Yeah.
taunted me that you stopped me.
Mm.
You know, I'd get up I was out of Loveland for years because he didn't like it. Because people knew me. I'm like, but I'm introduced as a sister, so that's how they know me. I don't talk to these people when you're not here.
You know that is my brother up there on
Right, like,
every Sunday.
but I would get up to sing. You know, I would go when my parents came to town. And that was my way to get to Loveland. And C-Dub would always make me sing Peace Be Still.
Oh yeah.
And then you
That was smart.
wait until I get on the stage, stand up, make sure I see you, and then walk out on me while I'm trying to minister.
Oh yeah, the devil in him.
Yeah. So just fully committed to not allowing me to be anything that God allowed me to be. But then the support, I mean, unintentional, misguided support that religion gives that is my new mission.
And that's a powerful mission. We have misappropriated the word for so many reasons, and in so many instances. And you know, I have a good friend who was married, and she was part of the Jehovah's Witness, and both she and her husband were, and he was abusive, and physically, emotionally, the whole nine. And so she went to the elders, and they said to her, well, just make sure that you have the meals prepped when he gets home, and make sure that, you know, you're available for him for intimacy when he wants it, and just be quiet. He comes home from the world beating him up and he's stressed out. Be quiet and be a servant. Serve him, because that's your job. And I was like, wow, that's not the Bible. No, I don't care how many wives Solomon had and concubines. That's still not the Bible.
Right.
It's like, and the church, you know, I've seen people in the church lead in the same way. It's like, what scripture are you using to support this stuff?
The Lord will exalt you in due time.
Yeah, right.
Like, you better hurry up.
Weeping man endures for night. Well, hell, I've been weeping for 6 months. You know, I'm dehydrated. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? But I could see how, because I know your spirit. You are and have always been loving and serving. I could see how that could trap a person like you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's tough. That's tough when somebody should have had a go route for you. It's like, all right, look, at 7:55, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna hit the horn once. Man, it's like, come on. We want people to stay in bondage because of the legalities of what we think the Bible is saying about marriage. But if the charge is that he's supposed to love you like Christ loved the church and gave of himself as a ransom, then if it don't look like that, then it don't align.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't want to get yourself to that place, then I'm gonna go over here, way over here. I'm gonna give you a little time to figure it out, and then after that, I'm gonna go on about my business, because I ain't got time for all this. Yeah. So I get it, but it's tough to hear that for a person who was as number one, was as passionate about ministry as you are with song. Be different if you were an usher, you know, because I don't like most ushers. I think ushers are hell raisers. They're the evilest people in the church. Like, how you supposed to be escorting people and opening the door and welcoming us in, and you just mean? Like, what did you fill out your application?
Philip Sharpskills Jacobs, from Los Angeles, California, native, born and raised there. I'm a hip hop artist, I'm a leadership speaker, I'm an author. Mainly I'm a creative, and I'm excited and passionate about entrepreneurship and helping people realize their full God-given potential.
But seriously, how long did that go on for you?
Oh my goodness, 20 years.
Ooh.
But I learned to hide myself in worship. And
Mm.
so it became truly a refuge. You know, Don Moen, you are my hiding place.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I was so controlled. It's like you can't watch TV, you can't read Essence, you can't go here, you can't do that. But every month I got those Hosanna tape. I was in the club, and boy, did I look forward to that because that was like my only outlet. And so that just made me really, really fall in love with that because I could hide from the strife of tongues. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Just the abuse. You know, I'm here. I'm trying. You know, and so that really, really became a refuge, and that's why it's so important, even to this day, to worship. I must worship.
Yeah. Did you ever in any of your private, because obviously they were very private worship experiences, did you ever hear God say, "Go"?
I did.
Yeah.
So it was like it was a dream, right? And I saw green light at my door, like inside the door. There's a green light, and I heard the word "go." And so the next day, I was arrested and falsely charged.
With what?
Domestic abuse.
Wow.
It was a lie, and but I stayed there, and um, father's rights attorneys had, they were doing people. They
Yeah.
were doing some stuff.
Yeah, they were doing
They
some
arrested one
trickery.
of my friends in front of a kindergarten class. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, you have her address. Why would you put those kids through that? So they were doing all these dramatics. And so I, I had to trust God. And He reversed all of that. But I did do, like 18 hours in a holding cell.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was horrible. But now you see. Now you see what I'm going through on a daily basis. You see the abuse that I'm taking. But I sat in that holding cell and I said, I'll never listen to anybody but you again.
That part. Because he's the one that gave you the dream and
he
said,
told me
"Go."
what to do. I heard
He
it
didn't
so
say,
clear.
"Go confirm it." He
No.
said, "Go." You don't need. See, all of us are navigating the word and trying to gain clearer understandings about things. There are texts that I've read and like, oh wow, there are texts that I've taught and then had to go back and like, wow, Lord, you're showing me a whole other revelation that adds context to this.
Yeah.
Perhaps I need to go back and fix part of what I said.
Mm.
Because in our own humanity, it ain't
Right.
God. It ain't like
Right.
God is bipolar and changes his mind. Or, oh, what I meant to show you was no. In our humanity, we get very zealous about the word. And once we think we have grasped a concept, we run with it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a thing that we just campaign on instead of going, study to show yourself approved. Matter of fact, and that's an action. That's an active action commandment. It's not, okay, you studied, you passed the test, you don't need to study anymore. Yeah. No. No. Study all the time to constantly show yourself approved. Because if not, every now and then, no matter how good you are, you will guide somebody the wrong way.
Right.
And nobody is above that because we're operating from a human lens. But I love God. When God is clear, he's clear.
Yeah.
And he knows how to speak to us uniquely different to say what needs to be said. And so, I mean, you said you said a door and the green, I could see it.
Yeah.
It was like,
shining.
You didn't even have to say that he said go.
Yeah.
Because when you said green door, green, I'm like, oh, go, hurry up. Yeah. Get out that door.
Yeah.
Because the door represented you got to get on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
The light was on the other side of the door. You got to go. Man, wow, you had to go to jail. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It was a bad experience.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I didn't go into the jail population. And it's so funny. It was just 3 days after God's Woman Conference. So
Palm Springs one day, jail the next.
So the booking officer, they bring me up. She goes, "Weren't you
I
just
know
singing
you.
that God's woman come?"
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
So I gotta ask, you're in jail for 18 hours. Dang, that's crazy. And are you in there worshiping? Are you in there losing your mind? What's happening while you're in there?
I was mad.
Okay.
I mean, and she was like, behave. They gave me this tray and it was just dirt. It was just dirt and it was just kind of clean where the food went. And I didn't want to eat because it was just nasty. And then there's a window in the door and the toilet's right there. So people are walking up looking for dockets where their people are. Right. And I'm like, I'm not drinking because I'm not going to the bathroom. So
Wow.
it was just, yeah, I mean, and the strip search with the door open, it was bad. And she said, squat and cough, and I did. She said I wasn't hard enough to do it again.
Oh,
I
come
was
on.
like, okay. I'm like, can I get behind the door? She's gonna stand here and talk about it. I'm like, no, I don't. But it was a business corridor, so the humiliation. But I was humiliated in private.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this is what you guys need to understand. This is for you.
Yeah.
It's for you.
Yes.
So you understand my humiliation in my home.
This is how far we've come.
Yeah, humiliation is now public, but I'm still humiliated in my home.
Yeah.
By insults and accusations that are so baseless that it's ridiculous. Just like this charge is baseless. But I knew, and then they just did all kinds of stuff. They had all kind. I couldn't go home, restraining orders. I couldn't go to their school. I couldn't do anything. And I told my brother, God's gonna drop the charges. And he said, they got you good. I'm like, but God's gonna drop the charges. I heard his attorneys say, we come from a long line of horse thieves. I was like, game over. I'm like, game is over. I'm like, how can they beat me? And he's like, well, don't. And I wasn't quiet. He said, don't antagonize them. I'm like, I'm not antagonizing anybody. I'm declaring.
Right. I'm standing on it now.
But they told one lie too many.
Yeah.
And it all came tumbling down because the what do you call it? Mediator. We had a mediator, and our divorce took 2 years. You would have thought we were Vanderbilts.
You're fighting over air.
I wasn't fighting.
Right.
They were just getting continuances to exhaust my funds so that I wouldn't have representation.
So that you would quit. Yeah.
But the thing was that over those years, never did the mediator show up. They would call for the mediator, never have her. So they told one lie too many, and we called for the mediator, and she came, and she blew it up. And the things that were said with her, they tried to call hearsay. She's like, excuse me, I'm an agent of this court. That's not hearsay. That's testimony. You did not object when we were together. It is now the truth. So then I got my kids back. He had custody of my kids because the whole thing was not to pay child support. We have 4 kids.
Wow.
So the whole arrest, charges with the DA. I'm home. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm writing the checks. You close the account, then notify the DA that I have checks bouncing all over creation. So they get me for bad checks. Like, I didn't close the account. If you look at the day the checks were written and the day the account was closed, I did not close that account. But I still had to go to the classes, and so they everything they could do. And once God turned it around, and I knew He would.
Yeah.
They were talking to me at a table, and I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. If I perish, I perish, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your day." And I just left. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and mediate. I'm not going back, because while I was in the holding cell, I saw a coroner's wagon. And I said, if I go back, somebody's going to die.
Yep.
And I don't know who. And so I made up my mind that I would not go back.
Val,
so if I go back, if you come back, I'll drop the charges. If I come back, somebody's going to die.
We were sitting in that back area during the funeral, and you were talking just in generalities about this, but in no way did you go into any real detail like this, I would not have been able to imagine this is the journey. And more importantly, here's what's crazy, right? You spent most of your life trying to lead the folk in worship, only to be treated like Paul and Silas. Put her in jail.
Yeah.
It's like, that's crazy. But wow, what a testimony. Talk about the Red Sea opening and closing.
Yeah. So God turned it around. I got possession of the house. Ended up, I didn't even have a job. He helped me get a job so he could sue me for child support because he had my kids. So, but God turned it around. I got possession of the house. Before it was over, I owned 2 houses and lost one in 2008 with
When the
million
bubble.
other.
Yeah.
Because I rented to a pastor who didn't pay. But
You see how she mumbled that? I ran into a pastor that didn't pay.
But I mean, it's God was faithful.
Yeah.
He was faithful even in the ignorance that was mine, and still I would write songs. God, that's when I really, well, I started 16. I did a remake of One in a Million.
Okay. Larry Graham.
God showed his great compassion and
Yeah.
sent to me his only son.
I can hear you singing that.
Jesus, the one and only you. And that was the first thing I ever wrote. But then in my sorrow, in my pain, I started to write. God would give me songs. I won't say I write. I hate to say I write because I never write. I try to capture what God gives me.
Yes, sure.
So I'm a song receiver.
And a song receiver.
Yeah, I don't write.
I hear that.
Try to capture. And I still don't do it justice. I'm like, I know that's not what you get.
Well, your humanity gets in it.
Yeah.
Your humanity gets like, I don't think God wanted me to write that word right there.
Right. You either forget while you're struggling to get your record devices, or you just like, I could not capture the beauty of what you just gave me. I just it's just not.
Sometimes it's just for
part
you.
was just me and him.
Yeah, sometimes it's just for you.
Yeah.
It's that song is sometimes just for you.
Yeah. So that's when I started to receive songs, worship songs, and I still haven't done much with them, but they're still timeless. Some of them are, and that's what I told you I'd like to get with you to.
Yeah,
get those out.
I have been out of season with music for the last couple of years. When COVID first hit, oh my God, I was cranking a song out every month. I was putting a single out every month. I was in here just diving in. And then when the world woke up, everybody had to go back to work or whatever. I went back to the path I was on, and I miss music so, but there's not been a real purpose for me in music at the time. And so I said to a friend of mine, I said, this summer I see a space. If the Lord allows me to be here, I see a space this summer where I can dive in. Because for me, with music, I have to dive in. I can't just run in and work on something for a minute and then come on. No, I got to go in there and then when I look up, the sun is coming up.
Right.
And I haven't had the space in my life to do that in the last couple of years. But this summer, I see a space where I can dive in, like really dive in. And I'm going on record. Dale is my witness. Kaylin is my witness. All of you folk who will view this as my witness. I want us to do some music. I didn't know these aspects about you. And worship, I have a very unique perspective on worship as it pertains to how to approach it. And in my head, you're talking about these songs that you've been given, and in my head, I'm already hearing melodies and feeling vibes that I know would be appropriate. And the fact that I have recorded you before, I know what you sound like in the headphones. I know your professional etiquette on how you get into the box and work and knock it out and all of this. But now, knowing that you are a a real pure worship person, it's like, oh, we have to open the floodgates and just let it flow.
Amen.
So I'm here,
Amen.
let's be clear. No money involved. I'm not in a place in my life where I need to do music for money. So when I ask somebody to work with me, it's because I don't need to charge them nothing. I just want to be a part of their giftedness and their journey. And so you got me. You got me, and I look forward. Val, you've been to jail. I ain't never been to jail. I've been put in handcuffs. Yes. I've been in the back of a squad car. Yes. I've even had police put guns in my face. Yes. But I ain't never been to jail. It's like, you got street cred. You've been to jail. You got some songs that God gave you. Even though in that moment you was mad, you didn't hear them songs at that moment. When you got out, he said, I'm going to hold on and give them to her when she come out, because my little daughter is mad right now. And she got right to be. Yeah. She probably a little mad at herself that she didn't listen to me. She's mad at this fool that she's with. I'm going to wait, because I got some stuff for her. Amen. That I want to say to her, and I want to say through her.
Amen.
And so,
I received that.
And I just believe that as long as we are breathing, we are supposed to be about purpose. Yeah. And gifts deferred, dreams deferred are simply just deferred. But I believe that if God is still giving us the ability to carry out those things, mm-hmm. It's very much like Samson. While he lost his strength temporarily, because he got caught up, like we do. We get caught. Life is a trip. Life interrupts us. We get caught up. He found his way back to his purpose. Yeah. And said, just give it to me one more time, so I can serve you in my strength. That's who we are. Yeah. So as long as I can sing a note, as long as I know how to tap into God's presence, I'm available. And so you got whatever you need from me. You're gonna get it. We're gonna lay it out. We're gonna lay it out. We're really gonna lay it out. It's funny. Sunday, when I popped up, I didn't even mean to get there so late, but I was like, oh wait, they worshiping. Because normally it goes praise and worship, and then you do Charlene does her thing, and then the offering, and then go right into the word. And so I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Did they start late? What's happening?
So we're after her now. We're before her and after her.
Oh, nice touch. Mm-hmm. Because I've always felt like the word should be preceded by worship. Yeah, for sure. It just softens the heart, it kind of focuses the mind. But it was a great worship experience Sunday. Yeah. Wow. And I was just like, oh, I came in, because when you're a real worshiper, you don't need to be worked up. Right. You don't need that. You don't need to tell me to lift my hands. Right. You don't need to tell me to stand or whatever, because I may have to sit. My back might be hurting. Right. But I'm going to get it. I'm going to go in, because I know how to go in.
Don't judge my worship.
Right. So it was awesome to watch and be a part of the worship experience on last Sunday. And I was like, yeah, look at that. They in it. Oh, I want to get in it. But knowing your story in more detail now, I really want to get in it. I really want to get to some things with you musically. I think we can have a good time working on some stuff that I know would move God. And now it's funny. Now you're in a place where I know there's a platform for you to do what you was trying to do with them folk back in the day that just was hard-hearted.
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's like 999 worship leaders,
Yes.
Like, wow.
It's the new coveted job in church.
Around, there's a new person. Like,
yeah. I mean, you got the gospel singers who can't sell a record anymore, so they either start pastoring or they become a worship leader. It's like they want nobody buy no tickets to their concerts, right. So they become somebody's worship leader. Or the R&B singers who always were saved but sang R&B, and now that R&B is played out, and so they have become worship leaders.
Yeah,
and it's
Al
like
Green,
Al Greens and Montreal Jordans of the world. It's like they worship leaders now. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, well.
I met his grandma.
Cap Clothing, aka Cap LA. aka Knowledge and Persistence. Established in 2018, CAP is a clothing company based out of the Los Angeles, California area. Yeah,
See you
so
later.
I am I'm enamored by what you've gone through, but now I need to ask, where is Val now? What are you doing? Because you alluded to the fact that you're turning your attention to help people who've been where you are.
Right.
What are you doing? What does that look like?
So I have a nonprofit called Purple Roses,
Okay.
and it's, the purpose is to bring awareness and correction and recovery from emotional abuse, because
Okay.
it's always, and probably of necessity, it's always secondary to physical violence, of course, but it can't be ignored because
No.
we get all caught up in the physical stuff, and then we never get back to the emotional abuse that people like me endured,
Mm-hmm.
probably daily. Just find some reason to say something that shouldn't be said.
Right.
And so this will be my third. In October will be the third event that we've hosted.
Okay.
Your mom, she is so supportive. Eric, what's Eric's last name? The radio guy, Eric. Anyway, she was speaking at his event, and so he invited me to be on with her,
Mm-hmm.
and then I invited her to my event, and she agreed to be the keynote speaker.
Yeah.
And she's been supportive the entire time.
Well, she loves you.
It's
She
mutual.
loves you, and she loves your voice. My mom was a singer.
I didn't know. Dale called me,
Yeah.
Valerie. He's like,
Yeah.
Glenn Myro's online singing. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
she's a
I
piano
didn't know
player and
she
singer.
sang.
Yeah, she's.
Like, I had no idea she sang.
Yeah, so she's a
But-
singer. So she loves singers who can really sing. And
Wow.
first time she heard you, she said, "Ooh, that girl Valerie, Chuck's sister. Ooh, that girl can sing." I said, "Yeah, she's bad. She's a bad girl."
But we never would have been able to pull our first event off had she not volunteered herself.
Mm.
She's like, I'm with you and I'm gonna support you. And she came and she was my keynote speaker. Just
That's awesome. Yeah,
and then the second year, we got the dates mixed up. She got the date mixed up. And so she wasn't the keynote, but she took the men and did the things that make men cry. Because what we do, we have everyone together in what we call a unity session.
Okay.
So there's men, women, and teens. Because, think how many women's conferences I've been to, and they're powerful.
Sure.
But they relieve us.
Yeah.
And then we go back.
You gotta go back to
until
the dungeon.
Until that
Mm-hmm.
wagon gets full again. And so what I want to do and what I've endeavored to do is have men, women, and teens.
Okay.
And
You're trying to wrap up the whole family.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
that
we
makes
all
sense.
hear about it together, and maybe we can all encourage each other together and say, "Okay, Dad, you said you weren't going to do that anymore." Like, okay. That's my
Right,
hope.
right.
Mom, you said you weren't going to cuss at Dad no more. Whatever the situation, or the teen that's the the person that's abusing the mom or
Yeah.
whoever. So Purple Roses really wants to bring the family together to heal a unit.
Okay.
And just let's make a difference. And I think, I'm sure initially, you want to do the thing and you want to point fingers at men.
Yeah.
And what good is that? That does nobody any good. What I want to do is see, can we just be healed and make this family work? And if you don't want to be a part of the family, don't punish me because you don't want to be here.
Right.
And I think it really changed when I had a grandkid, and I was like, our kids are burdened and weighed down enough by the world, and just look at the world right now.
Yeah.
So what if your son has to try and do his podcast after mom and dad been cussing each other out?
Right.
It's a distraction. It's a
Mhm.
heavy weight. It's a ditch
Mm-hmm.
that our kids have to dig out of, and then go and face this world that hates them, and try to hear God, try to learn what they're learning, and maybe by midday they may have overcome some of the stuff they
It's a
heard.
lot to filter out.
all night. Like we can do better than that.
Yeah.
We really can do better
Yeah.
than that. And we can change the generations. Like my grandkids are so bright. They are. My 3-year-old calls me. He'll call me on the phone and says, "Grandma Nana, are you available for me to call you on Google Meets?" And he's doing this by himself.
He's 3.
He's 3. He's doing this by himself.
Wow.
And then I'll say yes. He'll hang up and call me on Google Meets. And he called me the other day. He said, "Did you read your text message?" I said, "No." He said, "I taught Siri how to text you." I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Now,
They wired for this.
man, but I'm saying, what can he do if there's love in the house?
Right.
I have a book that says the title of the book is When Violence Begins at Home. What if violence begin at home? What if you just have a good breakfast and mom gives you a ride to school, or you want to walk to school? The family's engaging, preparing you for your day, telling you positive affirmations. They didn't bum you out last night. You weren't afraid somebody was going to get hurt. The street is bad enough. When I close that door, if I make it to that door, I need to be able to go.
Yes. Yes.
Not
Oh hell! Here we go. Like,
So-
what you putting the Vaseline on for? You know what it is. About to have to deal with this food.
Yeah. So just changing the environment, I think, can impact the generations. It can impact our families. It can impact our cities. It can impact our churches. Our world that we live in. That if we just learn how not to be mean to each other.
Yeah. So okay. So you went through decades of trauma, and I'm assuming that you did some forms of healing and some forms of processes of healing.
Mhm.
What did that look like?
Worship, the main thing.
Okay.
But
Any
I
counseling?
had some counseling.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I did some group sessions and some private sessions.
Oh, okay.
I had a lot to unpack.
Yeah, but worship was the lead.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff wouldn't have really got to, the soul of me.
I think our souls are damaged when we go through that kind of stuff.
It's absolutely true.
And while doctors can help us with the mind and with the body, the soul, that's a different thing. We got to go to the one that made it.
Yeah.
The one that breathed life into it.
So I can be
I like
instrumental in nobody else having to suffer. My kids, they did well. I mean, for the most part, there's damage. Absolutely.
Sure, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. But my daughter is a nurse. My son is a marketing executive. Other one's a project manager. My youngest daughter had it the worst. She loved her daddy. She wouldn't even eat unless she sat on his lap. And when he left, it was really, really, she was just a lost soul, and she just acted up to get attention. So I mean, 20 years later, she just now
coming to herself.
Yeah, it took her a long, long time.
That happens.
Yeah,
that happens.
But she's coming through, and now she's in school for coding. But so had they not had to suffer that, who knows?
Yeah, right.
Who knows?
Violence
or
instead
me,
of violence.
I couldn't. I don't know. I've asked myself many
you
times.
You might have been the CC Winans.
Who knows? But I probably wouldn't care about this issue.
Yeah.
I would have been happy in my world.
Sure.
So, amen.
Hey, amen. So somewhere along the way, you meet and marry a very handsome man. How has that been? How has it been with Dale in terms of, because obviously you you were getting walked out on while you were up ministering in song.
Right.
That's crazy.
I know.
It make you want to be up on the pulpit with a BB gun. Like, Lord, we pop, exhaust you. Oh, you walking out? Pop, pop. Oh, you're going to get out. I dare you. But now you're married to a gracious man of God who I'm sure supports.
Oh man,
everything you got going on.
Yeah.
Was Dale a part of the healing process, or was he the dessert after the healing?
Yeah, he was dessert. By the time he was 20 years later, so he's very supportive. He keeps me on task.
Yeah.
Like he'll tell, did you do this? Did you do that?
Okay. Okay.
But he'll go. I
Project
mean,
manager.
we have differences of opinion on. Sometimes
Yeah.
I can be real hard headed about what I think God told me and what I know God told me.
Well, you know God
And
told you to
then
go, and look where you ended up.
yeah, yeah,
In jail without the bail.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So um, we have a few bumps where I'm like,
Sure.
okay, but he's a very gracious person. He's very supportive. I'm really proud of him, and he's no joke. He's very civic,
Yeah.
so he goes after stuff in the community and
Okay.
making a difference in the community. And so yeah, we knew each other. We went to elementary, middle school, high school. Never dated.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like I was orchestra, he was band. He played with the kids this way. I played. We lived blocks away from each other. He played that way. I played that way.
Never did the two show meets.
All right. Yeah, like I'd see him, but
Wow, that's
we were in
history right
karate
there.
together. We did, but we never dated. And
You in karate?
well, Bruce Lee was alive, but you know what I'm saying.
I think when Bruce Lee was alive, everybody thought they knew a little kung fu.
Oh man, look, we thought we could kick a street light out. You know?
Like what? What you say? Like, oh, why he standing like that?
Yeah, man, we were just in it, hitting
Wow.
each other in the back of the head with the nunchuckers. But yeah, we were ships crossing in the night.
Wow, yeah.
And then when class reunion, I came to town and I didn't know there was a class reunion. I don't know how I saw you, but he's like, "Are you going to class reunion?" I'm like, "I didn't even know." So he made sure I got there, and then he came back. He had something else to do, and we were just friends, like I. He would go. I would go to lunch every time I
Yeah, he was
came.
like, yeah.
Every time I came, which I learned later, that was just so he could gauge if I was dating.
Stealth. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my research.
So it was always lunch. Then one time he said, "You want to go to dinner?" I'm like, "Dinner?
Yeah.
Really? Dinner?"
Because dinner's a date.
Okay.
If you ask somebody for coffee or, hey,
yeah.
you want to grab some breakfast? Oh, sure, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, when you say dinner, that's when the
Oh.
lights go out. It's dinner. It's
Oh,
dark.
Really?
That's
Dinner.
right. That's right, dog. Dinner,
Yeah.
Dale. That's right.
Oh,
You knew what he
yes.
wanted. Yeah, I wanted. You already said he was dessert. So dinner's the only thing missing. I'm gonna serve you dinner, and then we're gonna. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Amen.
So, are you in a good place now?
I am. I think I've finally gotten to the point where I've stopped worrying about my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the struggle is real.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like I ask dad for something and he won't help me, and then crying, blah blah blah. The girls, and then making sure though, I'm like, honor your father, that it may be well with you, and that you may live long. Still teaching,
Sure.
like
Sure.
don't hate, don't do it, and you know the suffering that and some of it against them too.
I'm sure.
Toward the end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, we're not taking this another generation. That we're not doing.
Right.
And that's when I said, okay, here's my strength. No. And that's when you go, okay, she's not going to take this. Instead of getting the help that I'm trying to get other people to get, you divorce and do all these schemes that the Lord defeated anyway.
So does your organization, Purple Roses,
yes,
does it have like outlet components, like if people need counseling services, or if they need financial services, or if they need escape? How equipped are you to handle those types of things?
So we're very grassroots, very fledgling. So what we do is when we have our event, we started out with community resources. So we invite community resources that we don't yet have. So like House of Ruth and Option House and your mom and Marty Sellers, Marcel Wellness, and we even have Mike Gwynn, who talks about the emotional component of the stuff you eat that makes you mean. So he's very good with the kids. So I don't have the resources, but
You have access.
yeah, so
Okay.
I bring the resources to them. And then the goal is that they see these people in action.
Yes.
So you see they're not scary, they're not judgmental, they're just people who learn something that they could teach you and they can help you
Yeah.
and they want to help. So then if you want counseling, or if what you're exposed to is like being exposed to your mother's keynote
Mhm.
speech, if you learned enough from that, then amen. So
Right.
be it.
Right.
But if you know you need more, there's an opportunity for you to discreetly pick up a card and go about your business without anybody judging you. Or if you you know, want it known, then But what we do, we have that where we call the unity session, where the resources are there, and I'll allow 3 or 4 of them to speak, tell where they are and what they do.
Mhm.
Then we have the keynote speaker, and then we break, and then there's breakout sessions. So the
Okay.
men have their own private session
Okay.
where a man might say, "Man, I'm mean to her because I'm sick of her. I don't want her no more." You're not gonna say that in a mixed
No.
setting,
No.
or whatever. Like,
Sure.
I love her, but I just don't like this, or whatever it is. Or a woman can say, "I'm so sick and tired," and then the teens. So what we did last year, we love this. I try to give the teens a takeaway every year. So the first year they had About Me hoodie, took white hoodies and gave them colored permanent markers, and they wrote things about themselves with the goal of not ever going below that. Like, this is your baseline. Don't you ever let anybody take you below this. But this year, our theme was triumph over trauma, and we had a trauma counselor who gave an amazing keynote. But the practice for the teens was to write about trauma, and then Loveland has a studio, so then we went to the studio, took them to the studio, and they got to rap about.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so then you recorded, like, I was in the studio, recorded and give them and send them an MP3, what they did, and so we'll have another one coming up October
Okay. Well,
25th.
well, I'll be, by then I'll be all the way dialed in with you and in step, because we're going to spend some time together this summer. And so anything that you need from me, count it as done.
Oh, God.
Count it as done. I love you. I love what you're doing. I love how you didn't let the trauma trap you.
Right.
A lot of people stay trapped with the trauma.
But you have to love. Love is the key.
Yeah,
to that
but
door.
a lot of people just go with it, and it becomes the defining thing of their lives.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
okay, this
I
doesn't
have a
have to
friend.
define you. It
Mhm.
will shape you in certain ways, but it doesn't have to define you
Right.
unless you let it.
Right.
And a lot of people let trauma trap them.
Right.
So
I wish he had gotten well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Get well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get well. Everybody get well. It's available.
You get to choose.
Yeah, it's not scary. It's not pain. It can be painful to unlock some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But you can recover, and let's live our best lives. And let's
Right.
make sure our kids and our grandkids have their best opportunities start inside these 4 walls.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Val, I am delighted that we had this talk.
Me too.
I'm excited about what's coming for you and for us. I don't get excited anymore with most people in music, because music has gotten weird.
Yeah.
But when I know the person, I know their heart, and I know their talent, I'm excited. So I'm excited to just sit down with you and create and to continue to build our relationship. So that way when you see me, you're like, I know that boy. Who is that boy? I know him.
And let me say, for the record, though, I don't have any hate. I don't live in that.
No, that's clear.
Yeah.
No, you didn't need to say that, because people who have it, they operate in it.
That's true.
This conversation would have went a whole nother direction if you were bitter, and to be fair, people that have done things to us, they've given us reason to be bitter.
Yeah.
But we get to choose whether or not we want to stay bitter or be bitter. And you have clearly, you came in with grace, you shared the story with grace. And instead of that nigga and all, you could have went in. It's like that nigga had me in jail, and even that you told with a level of gracefulness. Like, because some people would just cuss. That motherfucker had me, it's like, oh my God, he did what? Is that nigga still living? Like, so you don't owe anybody
Yeah,
that
God's turned that
explanation.
relationship with the kids around.
You
I'm
are
excited
proving
for
it
them.
with how you walk and how you talk about it. Not one ounce of me would feel like, I wonder if she still hate him,
No,
So,
no.
yeah, that's good.
Too much room.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Love is the key, though. You're right.
Yeah.
You're so right. Well, kiddo, I appreciate you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Really, really
This was
do.
great.
This is cool, but this is only the start for where we're getting ready to go.
Praise God.
And so I'm looking forward to that. Dale, thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
being a very gracious co-laborer in this ministry on tonight.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for being here. I had a feeling you would be here. She's probably gonna bring her husband, which is cool. Most people, show up solo, but it was all good. But I'm glad you were here.
He supports me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not gonna have no problem.
You just strike me as one that just don't play. You don't play. You're like, yeah, okay, no.
No, this guy, this a comedian was picking on him, and he walked up to him. He said, "I'm from Chicago. Shanks a lot." Oh, he laughed. He's like, "I'm using that."
Shanks a lot. That's right. Jolivet, watch out. Well, listen, this is Life Interrupts Us, and we believe that this is a place where storytelling comes to life. And you have certainly brought life to what we've done here today. And this conversation and the context has been very enlightening. I see you in a whole other light now, which is really, really cool. You're not just somebody who's singing I really admire, but now you're somebody who I'm connected to in terms of our journeys. We've had similar journeys, at least along the worship path. Ain't nobody put me in jail, but but we have some very strong connections, and so I look forward to building on that. And we'll figure out a way to get you back in here. Maybe once we get done with the EP or something, we'll just do an episode where we highlight and feature the EP or whatever it is that we're gonna do, because we're gonna do something.
Okay,
yeah, we're gonna do something.
All right.
So you've been watching Life Interrupts Us. Valerie Singleton-Evans was my gracious guest tonight, and I'm excited for what you guys are going to hear as a result of us doing something together later in the year. Until then, take care of yourselves.